to talk to him, and I think we're about to.
We are now joined by Flo Thamba, Baylor Bear for another year, exercising his 5th year of eligibility. Paul Catalina, Craig Smoke here on SicEm365 Radio. Flo, thank you so much for joining us. And what's this feeling like to kind of made your decision and be ready on the track to come back and play another year here in Waco?
I'm excited, looking forward to it. It was a hard decision to make. But obviously sitting down with my family and the coaching staff and everybody kind of came to a consensus. But I'm just looking forward to it and just going out there and playing basketball again for sure.
Flo, you talk about the tough decision. I mean, what was that decision-making like? Did you just lean on family and coaches? Did you kind of sit to yourself? How'd you go about doing all that?
It's kind of a mixture of everything. Just, sitting by myself, thinking about everything. Also, specifically, the biggest picture was also academics. That played a huge role into it. So, yeah, just having family around me kind of helped me come to a consensus decision about the best being for me was coming back. So, yeah.
Flo, how do you feel your game has changed and improved as you've been, forced by injuries or just growing into different roles on this team?
My game has grown throughout the past years. I was supposed to give credit to Charlie on getting my body right, to be the physical presence I'm able to be when I play on the court. But, as the years went past, better has always been the defensive side, but offensively I'm kind of starting to extend my role a little bit. But overall, my game has grown a lot.
Flo, what's it been like to kind of have to sit back these last couple of weeks and watch teams continue playing on? And tonight, obviously, the season will come to a close. You guys have faced both of these teams, but, what's that like after winning the title last year and now coming up short and having to kind of look around and watch everybody else?
It's kind of a retrospect, when I look at it last year, it was an amazing feeling to win it all, but this year just gives them more perspective of how hard it is to actually win it all. But we were just fortunate and blessed to have the opportunity to win it, and hopefully we look forward to doing something similar next season.
One of the questions when Jonathan went out was, is Flo going to be ready for the extra minutes, the extra different role? Or the thing was, and you answered it within a game. You were ready to go. In fact, within the game that Jonathan got hurt, you answered those questions. Was that something that you were kind of waiting and ready to be called in your opportunity to score more, to play more minutes and all that?
I've always felt myself being prepared, even prior to the injury. I was always ready. For me, it was just a matter of uplifting my brothers and just being out there and being the best leader possible. So, that was kind of my focus.
Flo, the game tonight, Kansas and North Carolina. You just played North Carolina a couple weeks ago. Obviously saw Kansas a few times. Do you have any thoughts on just the matchup we're going to see?
It's a great matchup, especially in the interior, with Armando and Armando Baycott and McCormack. So, basically play those guys back in high school. I'm just excited to see the matchup, but obviously I'll be rooting for the Big 12 side of things. So, but it should be a fun one.
So you go even further back with those guys.
Yeah, we go further back. We go basically AU period of time. We all play team loaded. It's been some time, but I basically know everybody. So it's just fun, man. It's just fun to see everybody playing the highest level as possible and have an opportunity to win a national championship.
So, Flo, what are you looking forward most to being back for another year? What's kind of top of mind for you? Not only just being back with the team, obviously, there's been some changes, but just kind of what's exciting to you about being back for another year?
For me, I'm just looking forward to another opportunity to grow. Be a better leader. Be better, as far as skill wise, and improving that. Just a lot of stuff, but the biggest aspect too is just the family environment, coming back with my guys, especially the guys who are coming back, just have that another year of familiarity and, spending time together with my brothers. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
You got some young guys, some guys that were injured this year, like Langston, that didn't get to play. You got some young guys coming up. As now you're kind of the resident old man, Flo. Do you take on the big brother role as people come in? Kind of, but I kind of took on the same role this year, but with Jeremy and Kendall. But it isn't really much change, but it's a family environment, family atmosphere, and
all the new guys coming in, they should, embrace it, and it's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun.
Flo, obviously, Kendall made his decision last week. He's going to be going to the NBA draft. You got to see him, obviously, for the last few months to a year, up close and personal, got to watch him and get to know him a little bit. What are your thoughts on the journey that Kendall's about to go on?
It's a journey that I'm looking forward to see him just go out there in a professional world and, show his talents and ability to do stuff. But one of the most underrated aspects of Kendall is just how much of a team guy he is, And, you don't really get to see that much on TV, but he's, the guy who buys into, what's offered in front of him. So, just spending the whole year with him was fun, and, we enjoyed seeing his leadership out there on the court. That was fun. We're definitely going to miss that for next year. But, I just wish him ultimately all the best.
How did Coach Drew react when you told him you had made your final decision?
He was happy. We had a long conversation. Actually lasted a couple hours, but it was fun. He was happy. Just especially having somebody back who knows the system, knows the culture, and knows how everything should run. So he was definitely really excited.
Flo, obviously things are going to be a little bit different next year. Coach Tang going off to Kansas State, so now you're going to be staring across the sideline from him as opposed to being on the same one. I know everybody's very happy for him, but just what was the kind of impact that Jerome Tang had on you, and what do you think about the opportunity that he now has in front of him?
He's a hardworking man. Been in the program for a very long time. And, an opportunity knocked, and, it was an opportunity of a lifetime that he had prepared him throughout his entire time at Baylor. So obviously, me and him, the relationship has always been solid. Him being a big man coach, prepared me in many various different ways. But I'm just looking forward to be on the opposite side and, compete against him. So it should definitely be fun.
And to that, you've got Alvin Brooks and John Jacobs and Jared Nunes all moving up. How excited are you for those guys?
I'm really excited for them too. It's just an opportunity, similar with me, where I had the opportunity to step up and show my ability to perform on the court. It's similar going to be the same situation with them, just stepping up into bigger roles, and I'm looking forward to it. It's exciting.
Is it going to be kind of weird not having Tweety Carter out there practicing, going up against you guys on occasion?
It's going to be a little weird, but one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to is just how he's going to help us with his knowledge and understanding of the game. Tweety is very smart, especially him playing the point guard position, and I'm going to feed a lot off him, understanding of how I should position myself, how I should play better, just giving a better perspective from a point guard to a big man. Just pick his brain a little bit more. So I'm definitely looking forward to that relationship aspect of things.
What's outside of basketball, the last month has got to have been pretty fun for you. I think a lot of people may not be able to relate to not being able to see your family for years because you're so far apart in the world from them physically, but to get to spend the time with your sister, your parents, everybody who got to come and see you, what's this month been like?
It's been good. It's basically been a family reunion. I'm expecting more family to come through in May, but it's been good. It's different. It's different. I've been alone for the longest time, but it's definitely good. It feels good, and even just going out shopping with them and just doing certain activities together. Speaking a little bit more French here and there. So it's definitely a different feeling, but it's definitely much appreciated for sure.
Have you become like a Texas tour guide to them? Do you take them? Where do you take them?
We just go everywhere. Obviously being out of the city a lot, going to Dallas, Houston, and, just kind of explore Texas a little bit. But as far as in Waco, we just, drive around and go to the Brazos and just be all over the city, basically. But for me, it's just more so the camaraderie and time together. That's definitely the most special part about it all.
So it's been a little while now, but what were their thoughts when they got to see you play there for the first time in such a long time?
For them, they were really excited. I guess they never really understood the grandeur of college basketball. They just, I played basketball. And just for them to just be on the sideline in front of 10,000 fans and more, it was just kind of wow, this is actually a big deal. So just seeing the eyes lit up and just being supportive on the side was really appreciated. So, sure.
Yeah, I was wondering because, they show them and they're sitting there eating popcorn. They got 10,000 people in the arena. I'm like, dang, that's a heck of a way to get introduced back to what your son's been doing. I mean, that's got to be pretty impressive. So I thought that was very cool and obviously very cool they could come. So.
Yeah, most definitely was. I mean, my mom was just shocked and surprised, but obviously her big thing was just my safety on the court because she couldn't handle me taking all the bumps and falls. She was kind of scared about that, but my dad kept calming her down that it's okay. It's what he does. But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, that's probably never going to change, Flo. So no matter what, you could be sitting in the kitchen and nick your finger cutting a piece of meat. Believe me, she'll still be concerned. That's what moms do. Well, Flo, congratulations on making your decision. So happy that you're coming back for another year. Congratulations. Enjoy the short off season that you guys do have before you got to get back and grind you to work, and enjoy all the family you've got coming through the Lone Star State for the next couple of months.
For sure. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
It's Flo Thamba here with us on SicEm365 Radio, 365 Sports. Really, that's huge. And you heard it, he said that the match was going to be between Baycott and McCormick, and I think that's true, Craig. I mean, he's seen them both. He's the one guy in the country who's defended both those guys. This year, at least. Yeah,
this year. But obviously, there's probably some other guys out there with all the connections they have, like he mentioned, that they played in AAU ball and things like that. But yeah, I'm actually, I know we'll talk plenty about the game, but I was actually more interested in his parents and just kind of what they must have thought. I mean, I don't know their situation back home, but to show up and my son plays college basketball. And I'm sure they can watch it on TV on occasion, perhaps. I don't even know.
On the internet or something.
Yeah, so you figure something, but I don't know, watching on TV when you get one viewpoint the entire time versus walking into the Dickies Arena and, they got concession stands nicer than, a lot of towns, quite frankly. And, just walk in there and have, beautiful seats in this arena and just the whole spectacle of it with the introductions and all that stuff. I mean, that had to be like sensory overload, I would think, when you haven't seen a game, at that level ever for your son. So I was very curious about that. And, that's really cool that they had that opportunity, and it's cool that they're still sticking around. Although Flo sounds like, parents have been around long enough, kind of get that sense of. And I can imagine when you're not around them that long, and all of a sudden you're around them, it's got to be kind of strange but fun. So, I mean, good on Flo. He had a great year, and obviously had a decision to make, and that decision leads him back to Waco for another year, which is huge for Scott Drew and this staff. So. The roster's, taking shape. We're starting to get a better idea. Still need to know what Matthew Meyer's going to do, and I guess Jeremy Sohan still hasn't announced either, so we don't know on him. But you've lost Akinjo and Brown. You've got Flo coming back, and we'll see how the rest of it works out. But good on that. Good on that young man.
Yeah, and I look, just from personal experience, I kind of get what he's saying. I lived apart from my family for 7 years. When they moved here and I was in Florida, and I saw them on occasion. It's not like him, who didn't see them at all. I mean, like, it's not like you just jump on a plane from Africa and hop in for the weekend. But, I'd see my parents. They'd come to Florida. I'd come here. But when I moved back here, like, it was about 3 weeks before I was like, geez, guys, do you have anything else to do? Like, do you have anything else to do? Like, and so I get it. You get a little like, wow, you get used to being alone. But I'm sure, again, he's thrilled that they're back here.